Third grade, today at your seats you have water cups, you've got little wooden tools, and you've got marking tools for slipping and scoring. You'll be able to come up to the counter where I have cut off blocks of clay for you to use. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to tear off a little bit, and then you're going to roll it into a log in your hands in the air. And then to roll a good coil, you want to start in the middle, keeping the clay between your fingers and spreading out. So middle, and then moving them outward. If you roll your clay on your palm, you will get flat spots, so you want to make sure that you are starting from the center and moving outwards. If you see any areas are thicker than others, you can go to that specific spot and roll. Just keep it in between your fingers. To start the base of our coil pot, we are going to do a spiral. So you're going to start rolling it on itself like you're making a snail. See, he's looking like more and more like a snail, and then you're going to finish it off, okay? Then you're going to take and you're going to smooth with your fingertip all of those lines away. The clay is nice and soft because it's fresh from the bag. And what I want you to do is kind of smooth it even more, and then with the stick, I want you to write your initials, that you can read them, and a 3, and then your teacher's initial. So if I was in June's class, I'd do a J. Then I want to take and carefully flip that over. This is going to be the inside of our pot, and that's the bottom. You will be able to build these on the paper plates that I've also passed out to you. So you're going to set it on the paper plate after this point. Now I've gone ahead and I have started making some coils. Remember, whenever you have to attach something to clay, you have to score. So you can use a little knife to make these little score marks all the way around the edge. But you also have to put the score marks on the coil itself. So I'm going to score the entire length of this coil all the way down. And it's okay to put things on the table. All the way down so that I don't have to stop and keep going. Then you're going to take a little bit of water and you're going to rub the surface of the clay until it starts to kind of get slippery, where the clay is actually rubbing off. That is going to form your slip. And then you're going to take and press the scored parts to each other. Now you can see right here, I've run out of score marks, so I have to score some more. So you can go all the way around it again. Make a lot of marks. You can never score too much. And then then you slip it. So score, slip, and then you're going to kind of lift up and go on top of that last one. And the great thing about a plate is you can kind of rotate it and keep going. So right here I don't have score marks, so I want to make sure that I score that area and slip and press. Now before I even roll coils, I can kind of get this area prepared for the next row. And I've gone ahead and made more coils. Now you don't have to keep going around in rows after rows. You can get fancy if you want to. Like you can make a bunch of spirals and you would score where you're going to attach them. And you can press them on. You might want to give it a little bit of a smooth and a press. And on the inside of the spiral, you might want to just kind of smear them together so that the spiral itself doesn't fall apart. So once again, making spirals, you are allowed to do that. You do not have to. You want to blend the bottom, score it, score where you're going to put it, slip, and press. So you can do that all the way around to get some extra height. And then you can continue with stripes again, where you are just kind of layering one on top of the other. I will be walking around to make sure that you're doing okay. You need to make sure everything is scored and slipped, otherwise it will fall apart. You can see that on the inside of my spiral, I just kind of took my fingertip and went like this, and that kind of will keep the spirals from falling apart as well. Just a little trick that I know of. And don't forget, you can't put smooth to smooth. You have to actually texture it up and add the slip. I know I've said it several times, but I just can't help myself. I'd hate for you to work really hard on these and then not have it stay together. So I'm going to kind of zoom in so you can see a little bit closer as I'm working. I probably can fit about 2 more of those spirals on there. So going around, scoring, flipping. If we run out of time today, you are going to put your extra clay back in that trash can that looks like a garbage but says used clay only. You can put your used clay in there, and you're going to prepare your clay pot to be sitting for a day or two, and you want to make sure it doesn't dry out. So on your plate, you're going to go to the counter. There are going to be some paper towels. I'll show you how to prepare them to dampen them. But you want to get damp paper towel, not soaking wet, and you're just going to set it over the top of your project like so. That'll keep it nice and moist. And then you have your prepared plastic bag with your name on it and the color table or the marker that you used according to the table. You're going to open that all the way up, and you're going to take your plate, and sometimes you have to make it like a taco shell a little bit, put it inside. You're going to press out the clay, and you're going to zip it closed, okay? I will come around to collect these to make sure that they don't get smushed. Water cups, extra clay goes in the bin. Little tools go in the middle of the table, and then wash your hands. We will resume working on these for 2 or 3 days, so they'll get taller and taller and taller. All right, thank you so much for listening.